and we've got an awesome Dota 2 match, MUFC versus Just for the Tournament. So we're going to get right into things. Good evening, guys, and welcome to the Own TV / Join Dota Tournament, The Defense. I'm GoDz, your cast from GoDz, and we have got a group stage matchup tonight between MUFC from Malaysia up against J4T, or Just for the Tournament. The team name literally has just been made for this very tournament, and that is a German stack featuring some players such as Kev, RMN, Moods, Demzalia, and Black. And they're taking on the Malaysians. So this is a group stage match between these two teams, and as someone has pointed out earlier today, this is MUFC versus Germany Part 3. MUFC defeated the German side EXE in the semi-finals of the GoDz Cup, defeated they defeated Panzer in the semi-finals, defeated .exe in the finals, and this is the third time they're going to be trying to destroy the Germans' hopes of Dota domination. No racist jokes intended there, guys, but let's see if MUFC can defeat the Germans for the third time in just a couple of weeks, or can this German stack cause some kind of upset here, defeat the Malaysian powerhouse that is MUFC, who've had some great results lately. However, they have been more in Dota 1, so they haven't been playing Dota 2 as much. They're going to be switching over to Dota 2 here, trying to adjust. There's a Malaysia Dota 2 Invitational Tournament happening next weekend, so they are definitely trying to put in some good hard practice for that. And that's why this match is being played this weekend, not next weekend, because of that very LAN tournament in Malaysia. We're going to get right into this game. The draft is well underway. Introduce you to our players, our teams, etc., all that good stuff. I'm GoDz from GoDz, and I hope you guys enjoy tonight's preview of the defense. So, getting right into the bans, the picks, we've got MUFC on the Sentinel side. On the Radiant side, I should be saying. On the Dire side, we have got J4T. Probably the first actually strategic difference between the two sides is, of course, that Roshan. Roshan is close to the Dire side of the map. It is easier for the Dire team to take Roshan, and it is definitely something that teams can use to their advantage, being in that closer position where they can, as soon as they get the lanes pushed out, they can try sneak in that Roshan, which the Radiant team can't really do. Anyways, first pick did go to the Dire team, which was the Germans. They banned the Chen and the Prophet, whereas the Radiant going for an Anti-Mage and Night Stalker ban. Nothing too uncommon there. Anti-Mage is just one of those really annoying, hard to kill carries. Night Stalker is one of those really strong heroes that has sort of been brought to light in Dota 2 at the moment. He's just so hard to shut down, and as soon as it is nighttime, he just walks around tanky as hell, impossible to kill, and setting up so many great ganks. Making sure everything is okay. Yes, I can be heard. Whereas the Chen, the Prophet, no huge surprises there. MUFC do love to use that sort of dual jungle roaming strategy. They'll have 3 solos, then they'll throw either a Chen or an Enchantress in the jungle with a jungler with a support hero like a Vengeful Spirit. So not going to be surprised at all if they go for something like an Enchantress plus VS pick here. That is their kind of Dota 1 style. Whether they're going to sort of transfer that playstyle to Dota 2 is yet to be seen. I haven't seen any of their Dota 2 matches here, but I'm expecting their actual playstyle won't change too much, so expecting them to pick up that Enchantress if it is left in the pool. As far as the picks were concerned, J4T did go for that first pick Lich. One of those heroes that's just so powerful, first because of the Dark Ritual, which just gives such a huge laning advantage. Being able to deny creeps in lane basically means whichever lane the Lich is in does well. If you're up against a tough duel or tri-lane, you can deny them farm, pull the way back to your tower where you can farm safely. If it's a solo Lich, or a support Lich up against a solo hero, you're just denying them farm, keeping them away from the creep wave, and you just level so much faster than making it such a strong strategic hero. Then come level 6, you get that huge, powerful Chain Frost, which bounces around, doing huge amounts of damage, and is just a very strong nuking hero Lich. The problem is, mid to late game, he does become somewhat ineffective up against heroes who get mech and pipe, up against a Windrunner, which has been picked up here, who will go for that mech, I imagine. Lich's ulti doesn't quite do as much damage in the mid to late game, so it's one of those heroes that really has to dominate the early game laning phase, and then come mid game really just be backing up teams, getting some good team fights with that ultimate, and using that Frost Armor to make his teammates that much more harder to kill. MUFC on the Radiant side, not Sentinel. I'm going to be thinking about Sentinel every time I go to say that. Have picked up the Ancient Apparition as well as the Windrunner. No huge surprises there with those first 2 picks. The Windrunner just one of those very versatile heroes that can fit into any lineup. It can be played in a dual lane as a support or a farmer. It can go solo mid. It can go solo in the off lane in that tough top lane where it could verse a dual or a tri lane. It can just fit into so many different lineups that it does really warrant being picked up early, and it doesn't give too much away about their actual draft and what they're going to be playing. The Ancient Apparition is just a great support hero, great against teams that do rely a lot on heals. With the Omni Knight still in the pool, it could be a good idea to pick up that Ancient Apparition, probably to deter the other team from picking Omni Knight somewhat, and just a strong hero on its own. Just because of the cold feet, then the ulti coming into play in the mid game can be absolutely devastating, guaranteeing kills on anywhere on the map, even without the Ancient Apparition leaving his lane. Then the Germans, they go with the Tidehunter Mirana pick. So Tidehunter going to be their sort of one of their main support heroes, or possibly their second support heroes, depending if they have a hard support Lich, depending how they want to lane this. And Mirana going to be one of their semi carries, or possibly their main carry. What we could see is something like a Lich Mirana dual lane. If they do want to go for a dual lane, they could go Lich Mirana at bottom, something like a Tidehunter with a Weaver or some kind of range carry at top, and then some kind of solo mid hero. Definitely a lot of options left for J4T with these two picks, so loving that their lineup is still very open. There's a number of heroes they can move into here. They haven't really picked up any kind of solo mid hero. Of course, their Priestess or the Lich can go solo mid, but they are two heroes that you usually won't see go there. But the fact that they can means MUFC do not know what the Germans are thinking. They don't know how they're going to structure their team, what their next two picks are going to be, so it makes it hard for them to know what to ban. And as said, MUFC, they love their jungle hero, their Enchantress and their Chen, and they're picking up this Enchantress third. While I don't think the Germans were going to go for that, they were quite likely going to be... oh, there we go, someone's requested my face. Voila, they were quite likely going to be picking up that... Sorry, if they didn't pick up this Enchantress though, it was quite likely that the Germans would have banned it. They've obviously done their homework. They've seen MUFC play in the past. I mean, having played against German teams in both the semi-finals and finals of the Rocket GoDz Cup, every game, MUFC went for either the Enchantress or Chen in jungle if they weren't banned. So if the Enchantress wasn't picked up in this first pick stage, I reckon we would be seeing it getting banned in this second ban stage here. Nonetheless, it was picked up, and that meant that J4T banning the Broodmother and Vengeful Spirits. So as said, MUFC loved that VS Enchantress combo, so being denied of that by the Germans. And Broodmother, another very strong hero, feared because it is going to be a nice little carry and hero that can put on a lot of pressure. With an Enchantress, they want to put on a lot of pressure, get some ganks rolling, and really start pushing down towers, which Brood will just fit into so well. So really smart decision there to ban that Broodmother, unless they were intending to pick it up, but I don't think they were doing so. MUFC, on the other hand, banning a couple of solo mid-heroes. They banned the Beastmaster and the Shadow Shaman. We've seen Shadow Shaman used in the Dota 2 Star Championship in Ukraine very effectively by Wei Xing, the Chinese player on their team who's been playing solo mid Shadow Shaman almost every game. They love using that hero, and a hero that MUFC are obviously somewhat scared of here, and something they don't want to see the Germans getting their hands off, and I definitely think it would have fit in well with their lineup, because they don't have too many heroes capable of pushing down towers, so throwing in a Rasta there, so if they get an early advantage, they can actually push some towers with those wards, would have worked out quite well for them. So a smart bans there by MUFC, and we do see that Weaver being picked up by J4T, and as I said, they could do that Lich Priestess at bottom, Tidehunter plus Weaver duo at top, or we could see them mixed around. It could be the Priestess at top, the Weaver at bottom. There's a lot of, I mean, I'm expecting dual lanes coming out of the German side. I think they'll do two dual lanes here. With that said, where they put the dual lanes, whether they want the Weaver at top or bottom, yet to be seen. I imagine the Lich will be at bottom, just because Lich needs to be at the bottom lane. So Lich is most effective at the bottom lane, because you can use that Dark Ritual to pull the wave back to your tower. At top lane, the wave is already near your tower, so you don't actually need the Lich in that top lane. So expecting the Lich, probably the Priestess or Weaver at bottom, two very smart heroes, because they are hard to gank. We're going to see this Enchantress looking to gank, but Priestess has Leap, Weaver has Shikuchi, two heroes that are going to be great at preventing the Enchantress getting off successful ganks. So what MUFC need here is some heroes that can keep these heroes in place, stop them from just blinking, leaping out, Shikuchiing out. So either some point stuns, or here we see the Faceless Void. Faceless Void going to be their carry of choice, and a very nice hero for keeping heroes in place, because, well, his Chronosphere literally does that. Stops them in time in that big bubble of a Chronosphere, and then, well, they can't move. So that's going to be their hard carry hero, going to be at that bottom lane, especially with Faceless Void being picked up. I imagine that we are going to be seeing this Lich going down the bottom lane. The German team are going to want to deny as much farm as possible from the Faceless Void, so something like a Lich Priestess at bottom can deny a lot of farm from the Void, and can harass him whenever he goes to last hit with the two heroes with 600 range, so a Lich Priestess at bottom could be very effective against the Void lane, even if Void is going to have a tri-lane there. We could see Windrunner go top, AA go mid, and then sort of a tri-lane, a semi-tri-lane at bottom with the Enchantress in jungle, the Void getting supported by a Crystal Maiden or a Witch Doctor. But a Lich Priestess lane can do fairly well against that tri-lane, so definitely possibly what we're going to be seeing coming from the Germans. And the last hero picked up is the Queen of Pain, going to be their solo mid hero, the high DPS, burst damage hero I should be saying. Basically, they would have looked at their line and said, what are we missing? And someone would have said, burst damage. And then, I imagine, someone said, okay, let's pick Quap. They've gone with the Quap! Huge shout out to X Musica, one of his favorite heroes. I know he's probably, if the Germans win this game, he's going to be like in our Skype conversation saying, hey look, the Germans picked Quap, it worked. We should pick Queen of Pain more often ourselves. So part of me is hoping that this Queen of Pain doesn't actually work out, because otherwise we won't hear the end of it. Anyways, the last hero going to be picked up by MUFC. I imagine they're debating which support hero to pick up. Will they go for a Witch Doctor, the Crystal Maiden? They go with the Lion. So Lion's going to be their support hero in that bottom lane. They obviously decided we need more Disable. So they want some Disable to shut down the Weaver as well as the Queen of Pain. The Hex, the Impale, both options that Lion has there. So probably a very smart choice there, but it will need some levels. It can't get shut down too much early, else it will struggle to have an impact on the game if it does get too underfarmed. I'm going to just do a little bit of adjustment on my little webcam here, so nothing gets blocked out, and we will get well and truly underway, guys. Hopefully everything is okay on the stream. Have a little pop into IRC. Everything looking good. So, what have we got, guys? We've got Queen of Pain being played by Kev, going into that middle lane. At top, we've got the Weaver, Nerubian Weaver, being played by Black, being supported by the Tidehunter of Moods. Going down bottom as predicted. I love when my lane predictions are right. It makes me feel so smart and know-it-all-y. We've got the Priestess of the Moon being played by RMN, laning with this Lich played by Demzalia, who's got those Obs Wards, going to be looking to block this pull. That's the one thing that can stop. If Lich tries to deny the way back to his tower, the one thing that can prevent that is creep pulling. So it's so important to block off this creep camp here, and if MUFC want to prevent that, they may even go for some early Sentry Ward play on this Enchantress, but I think MUFC have predicted the same thing I predicted. They know this Lich Priestess is going bottom, and they said, well, how are we going to make sure Void farms up against a Lich Priestess lane? We're going to put the Void mid. So what we are in fact seeing is not an AA solo mid, it's going to be Net, who is their main support player, playing the AA, and he's going to be supporting the Void at the mid lane. So MUFC predicting what their opponents are going to do and reacting very well. So putting this Void in mid lane with the AA up against the solo Quap. The AA is just going to be harassing down the Quap, making sure the Void can farm, while his bottom solo line will have a tough time against the Lich Priestess lane, but will just be focusing on getting whatever levels he can. What is going to be a problem for him is he doesn't have this creep pull option available. Neither does the Enchantress, blocking both these two spawns here with the one Observer Ward. But Enchantress is going to be looking to get up some smoke ganks. Maybe on this bot lane, the Lich is going to be very vulnerable to ganks. If Enchantress can get a couple good creeps, come gank this bottom lane Lich. The Priestess obviously a lot harder to kill because of that leap skill, but with a couple nukes coming out of line as well as Enchantress and a nice creep there, we could see some early kills at bottom lane on this Lich. But Lich immediately reacting to the Faceless Void in mid is going to be heading over to this mid lane to help shut down this Void's farm. And early on, AA, it's going to turn into an AA Faceless Void against a Lich Queen of Pain lane. So Queen of Pain is going to level quite a bit slower here because Lich will be sharing this XP, but as a result they will shut down this Void farm, and once again they have got two ranged heroes which can really just make it so hard for Void to farm. He's gone for a Quelling Blade first. He really needs that Stout Shield to block all this damage because they're just going to be constantly right-clicking him whenever he goes for any kind of farm. Top lane we've got KYXY playing that Windrunner. He's going to be soloing up against the Tide Weaver lane. Quite a tough lane for him. He should be able to do okay in terms of getting experience. Maybe a few CS every now and then. He has already managed to start pulling the wave back towards his tower, so this is really looking up to be a good start for him in this top lane. The fact that the wave is not just stuck right here, but Tidehunter is going to be bringing it back by having this creep pull option available to him, which we will see him using in just a second. Bot lane, we've got Lion solo up against Priestess now that the Lich has left, and that could be problematic for this Priestess of the Moon with the Enchantress in jungle there. We're going to see Lion doing quite a bit of harass early on, Leap being forced out from the Priestess, and a salve being used as well. Ooh, Lion doesn't try to go in and pop it, but early salve use going to limit Priestesses of the Moon's laning ability if he doesn't have that option available to him. Mid lane, Faceless Void. What is wrong, guys? What is wrong? There we go. There we go, guys. It is all good. All good. Yeah, we've fixed the inventory now, guys. Apparently, there was some overlap problems. And bottom lane, we've got a gank coming out on the Priestess. The leap is just off cooldown. He used it about 15 seconds ago, but it had come off cooldown, so he used it to escape those Enchantress creeps. And meanwhile, Lion taking a lot of damage from this tower, going to get down to red HP, but does have plenty of Tengos and Salves available to him. So not going to be too much of a worry there for him, but is going to be forced to use up a couple Tengos and a failed gank attack attempt on the Priest of the Moon. Priest of the Moon with a lot of Tengos himself. And we do see mid lane Void picking up an early Stout Shield. As I said, he does need that Stout Shield so desperately up against two ranged harassers. How is his farm going early on? Has 7 CS, 16 CS on the Enchantress. Obviously those are mostly neutrals. And only 11 CS on the Weaver. Would have expected a bit more there. Action at mid. Lich goes in. Void going to pick up a kill. It actually goes to the Ancient Apparition, but Queen of Pain and AA pick up the kill on the Ancient Apparition. First Blood going to the Germans. A 1-for-1 trade at middle. Unfortunately Void not getting the kill, but it will give some space for Void to get some farm here, as they did do quite a bit of damage there. Kev with that First Blood now has 1100 gold. That's going to be a boot and a bottle at just 3.5 minutes in, so going to see him looking to pick up a few runes and really do a lot of sort of roaming around, getting those runes, ganking the side lane, and just focusing on ganking the Void whenever possible and shutting down his farm. Top lane, Windrunner with an early Basilisk, doing fairly well. It is about to hit level 4, so in terms of XP, bottom lane we see Lion going on the Priest of the Moon. The Hex coming, he wants to Starfall, he's not going to get the Starfall off, and Lion picking up a kill at bottom. Mirana unable to stay alive there. I think he thought he might get that Starfall off. If he'd gone off and hit twice, it would have got that kill, I imagine. And Lion now level 6, whereas Priestess of the Moon only level 5. So it was going to be a level 3 Starstorm coming at that Lion. Would have gotten that kill, but he didn't use it in time. The Hex from the Lion was perfectly timed. And a kill at bottom. 2 FG, that's too fucking good, formerly known as Garfield, playing that line, getting a solo kill on RMN. Meanwhile, Ling playing this Enchantress, yet to come out of the jungle yet, and has used a smoke here, so going to be either heading middle or heading bottom. Which way is he going to go? I imagine he may look for a kill on this Lich. Lich is probably the easiest kill to get. We're going to see a tornado being popped. This Wildkin is going to take the tower. There's the Stomp. It's not going to hit though. It comes too late. Is there a slow? 3 seconds. The slow is on cooldown. We're going to see Void leaping in a second there. We're going to need a heal used on Enchantress. Enchantress taking the tower. Enchantress going to go down to the tower. A failed gank attempt. And Void, the Time Walk not hitting the Lich. Lich just escaping with relative ease, and Priestess of the Moon finds the Void. Void Time Walk on cooldown. Starfall. Void in trouble. There's a nuke, a few more hits, and Void goes down as well. Priestess of the Moon coming in at the perfect time. Left the bottom lane for a short time, but did get that kill there, and that is bad news for MUFC as their Void getting taken out, as well as Enchantress in a failed gank attempt at mid. The Enchantress creep micro was just not quite there. The transition to Dota 2 is not easy, especially for those jungle heroes like Chen and Enchantress. The creeps, the animations, the casting time is quite different, so it isn't always that easy to get those Centaur Stomps and Ursa Claps converting into successful ganks. So unfortunately there for MUFC, they didn't get they weren't on the right side of that clash there, losing 2 heroes without killing any, and that will give the Germans a lot of room to work with, as they are going to be able to get this Queen of Pain with a bottle up. Going to be looking to pick up a haste rune at bottom, actually, and that's going to be him looking for a gank attempt, maybe at this bottom lane on Lion, but Lion level 7 has a Finger of Death, as well as level 4 Impel. That's going to do a lot of damage if they can find this Priestess of the Moon at bottom, as Priestess of the Moon with only boots, 4 branches, has 600 HP. Going to need to hit him a few times as well, but with the Hex as well. Does he have mana? He's got 370. He's about 30 mana short of the Hex mana, but he will have mana for the Impale Finger, so a couple hits with that should be enough, and we are going to see even Enchantress coming in as well for this kill maybe. Mid lane, Void trying to catch up on this farm, has 950 gold, maybe going to go for an early Ring of Health, but with all this burst damage coming out of this Queen of Pain, what he really needs is some HP, so may just see him go for Strength Treads as a first item, or no, it does look like he's picked up that Ring of Health, and whether or not he goes Vanguard, straight Vanguard, bottom lane, there's the gank we've been talking about. Enchantress once again goes down to a tower for the second time this game, Enchantress dying to a tower, and Queen of Pain coming in with a haste rune. This line in a lot of trouble. There's the Scream, the Shadow Strike, it's level 1 Shadow Strike, I believe, Blink level 1, and level 3 Scream of Pain. The haste rune is there, he's going to begin, the Cold Feet comes, a couple more hits is all he needs. Lion's going to try and find his way, the freeze is there, but Queen of Pain with a haste rune still activated should be able to just walk on out. There's the laugh coming from the Queen of Pain, and another kill going in the Germans' favour, although they did lose one at bottom lane, the Priest of the Moon, but they got 2 kills from it, both the Enchantress and the Lion, thanks to a haste rune on that Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, top lane, how is the Windrunner and Weaver doing? That's probably the other thing we haven't looked at recently. A semi-initiate at top. Oh, Weaver's going to go for this. He's still chasing. He's not going to be able to get this, I don't think. He's going to need another Shikuchi. He's not going to commit to it. And Windrunner with boots, Basilisk, 400 gold. Not a huge amount of farm there, but level 6, 14 CS. That's kind of all you can expect from a Windrunner in this side lane solo. What is going to be a bit of a worry is this top tower, which will go down very, very soon. Especially maybe right now with this siege creep here. Weaver, on the other hand, has 39 CS. And no deaths to his name, going for an early Ring of Health, Basilisk, and the Gush. Tidehunter just scaring away the Windrunner, but taking a lot of damage. A power shot could finish off this Tide. Tide needs to be careful here, but the tower goes down. Void is looking maybe for the Weaver, but doesn't try and use that Chronosphere, and Tidehunter just going to walk away. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain at bottom gets a double kill. AA, Lion both go down. A convincing kill. Convincing ganks there, and another tower going to go in the Germans' favour here if they can get this bottom T1 tower. That's 2 towers for them, a 7-3 kill lead, and they right now are in clear lead here, looking at the gold lead, up by about 3.5k gold. So a good start for them, and MUFC are going to have to try and get some early items up on this Void so he can tank it up, not get ganked so easily, as well as get Windrunner involved and get some early mech up and really start ganking well with this Enchantress combo as well, because right now they are not off to a very good start. And big shout out to Mineski Jules, who is in fact in IRC, so shout out to him. If it is in fact him, if it's not him, well, shout out to you anyways for impersonating one of my favourite players. I do love the Mineski playstyle, but right now MUFC, I love watching them play with this Enchantress hero, which they do use so often, but they're not doing too well here. Lion's being arrowed, it's a long arrow, Queen of Pain going to finish him off, but the Finger of Death, Queen of Pain blinks away at just the right time. That last hit from the AA actually missed. If that had hit, and we are going to see Priest of the Moon trying to TP out, Chronosphere comes, and some impetuses from the Enchantress going to finish off the Priestess of the Moon. And Queen of Pain, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Queen of Pain with 25 HP. Ancient Apparition even had an attack mid-air, but he blinked away at just the right time, and the attack actually missed. AA missing the kill. Lion using the finger, but not getting a kill from it is absolutely devastating this early on when it does have such a long cooldown. Not going to be ready for another 2 minutes, that Finger of Death. And what they do have to worry about is the fact that this Weaver's already got a Hood of Defiance up, as well as boots. Boots and Magic Wand, so is getting fairly tanky, and these power shots are not going to do a whole lot of damage up against the Hood of Defiance on that Weaver. And not to mention, he can just do this. He can just harass this Windrunner. Not worry about taking damage, because he has such great HP regeneration, getting HP per second regeneration mid lane. A big Lich ultimate takes up the Faceless Void with the Queen of Pain nukes and a tight Gush. Void picking up, I think, his second death. Only 31 creeps to his name, and having a little look at the farm here, we've got 53 CS on Weaver, 31 on Priestess, 21 on the Queen of Pain, and MUFC a bit behind. They've only got 44 is their highest on the Enchantress, but that's mostly neutral creeps, which don't give as much gold on average. 31 on the Void, 31 on Lion at bottom, and 32 on Windrunner at the top lane. So it is fairly spread out between 3 of their heroes, as well as the Enchantress as the 4th hero. Whereas the Germans have Lich and Tidehunter only with sort of 10 to 17 CS between them. But those are 2 heroes which don't need a lot of farm. They're just going to be living off the tower gold, most importantly, getting that XP up, and we're going to see a Tidehunter Ravage coming into play soon. The Lich ultimate is on cooldown, but that Ravage is going to be absolutely crucial. If J4T do want to make a play for this mid T1 tower, it looks like they want to go for it. Priest of the Moon is hitting away, has those power treads and bottle up, and it doesn't look like is Queen of Pain going to be joining the party. Where is this Queen of Pain? Queen of Pain's actually at top lane. Wow, Queen of Pain going on this Windrunner. Not going to successfully get that kill. And bottom lane, it is Priest of the Moon heading bottom just to look for some pressure on this bottom lane. Will he even look for a kill here? I'll be surprised if he does. He's got the level 4 arrow and level 4 Starfall. That could be enough to kill this line if he does hit a long enough arrow so that the line cannot disable him. And Enchantress will find the Priest of the Moon with a dominated Centaur. So nothing too much going to be happening there. But mid lane, here we see a gank on this Void. Void needs a time walk out. Tidehunter Ravage going to go. Is it going to hit the Void? Yes, Void. Red HP, 20 HP. Void going to survive though. The huge Shackle Shot gets the Tidehunter. Lich in trouble as well. And Lich going to go down there as Lion is coming in. Lion has that ultimate finger going to be needed for this Queen of Pain kill. Is there a finger? Use that finger. No. 2 FG. Too fucking good. Not fucking quick enough with that Finger of Death as the Queen of Pain does escape. I think he could have gotten that kill. All he needed to do was use that. And we see Queen of Pain going for an early Boots of Travel. What is this Queen of Pain thinking? A very unusual item choice there. Not going for anything like something like an Ultimate Orb, something that would just give some stats. So the Boots of Travel, a very, very strange item choice. When you can, early on, they've got all their tier 1 towers up. I mean, TP scrolls is all you need. You can TP pretty much halfway up the map on any lane with just a TP scroll. So a bit of wasted gold there, I would say, on the Queen of Pain, getting Boots of Travel as the first item. Especially when you don't need the mobility even, because you've got that Blink, which is leveled up to level 3 now. So an interesting, debatable item choice there coming from the Queen of Pain. And it does look like J4T, they want this mid-tier 1 tower, but they haven't got that Tidehunter Ravage up now, but they have got the Lich Chain Frost, which they will be using to try and push down that mid lane, I imagine. Void, meanwhile, at the bottom lane, sorry, not going to be worrying about what's happening mid, because what he needs to worry about is getting that creep score up, getting some farm, getting some items. Going to be going for possibly a Vanguard, but may just go for a Battle Fury with this Ring of Health. But against the huge amount of AoE nuke burst damage with the Priestess of the Moon, Starfall, the Ravage, the Queen of Pain nukes, the Lich ultimate, I think he needs a Vanguard, and we are going to see him pick up that Vitality boost as soon as he has 1100 gold. If not a Vanguard, he needs some Strength Threads up as fast as possible. He needs some way of surviving all these nukes. He can't rely on that backtrack alone, which is at level 3, but that is not going to be enough if those nukes do convert. Top lane, we see Queen of Pain coming in, gank coming on the Windrunner. There's the Shadow Strike, the Scream, and we do not have a Queen of Pain ultimate here. Windrunner just going to make a run for it. Is being slowed a bit by that Shadow Strike, and there's one more Scream. We do see Weaver picking up that kill at the top lane. Weaver now with Treads, Hood, 700 gold. Probably going to be going for that Relic now, as Lion is actually coming in top. AA ultimate, is it going to hit? It's not going to convert. If that had actually hit, he may have gone for that kill there, but Weaver with the Hood is deceptively hard to kill. Even with an AA ultimate hitting, the Impale, or Earth Spike as it's called, Finger of Death combo, might not even have been enough damage, and meanwhile the AA getting caught out alone by a tied Lich. Lich still with the ultimate, and the mid-tier 1 tower going down, so J4T taking their 3rd tower uncontested, and picking up a kill as well. So a very, very strong lead for them. As looking at this gold chart, what have we got? We've got a 5,000 plus gold lead for the German side, and they are looking to break the curse. The MUFC curse. They've beaten the Germans the last 2 times. MUFC has met a German team, but this looks like it could be finally the time where MUFC get defeated here, but they're going to have to try and not let this corp go down. One more Impetus, oh no, not one more Impetus. Void getting the last hit there, and that is absolutely huge. Void needs that gold. The unstoppable streak that was actually on the Queen of Pain, that is just going to be a nice bit of gold going into the Void's favour, and Quop getting a bit too cocky there, overextending, was just a bit too keen to pick up another kill there, and Void keeping away, has 1100 gold, maybe going to go for a Perseverance here for his Battle Fury, or possibly just getting a Vitality boost for a Vanguard, but the fact he's gone for those Strength Threads, I think he's just going to go straight for a B Fury here. I mean, he's got 1k HP, needs to be careful, this Crow is taking a lot of damage, does get shielded, and he's going to actually return to base because it is so low, and that we will see Void just walking up to that secret shop to either pick up a Vanguard or a Perseverance. I think he's going to go for that Perseverance build into Battle Fury, because what they really need is the damage output from Void. They need damage. A Vitality boost of Vanguard is not going to do enough damage, and there we do. With Perseverance, it's going to be straight B Fury. The Strength Thread is going to be all he gets for the HP, and I do think this is going to be the right decision for Sharky this game. Mid lane, Queen of Pain has picked up a Null Talisman. This is another thing. He goes for the Boots of Travel, then he gets a Null Talisman. If you're going to get Null Talisman, he may as well get them before the Boots of Travel, because Null Talismans are cheap items which you want to get as fast as possible, so you can benefit from them. Their early game plus damage. They're cheap. They're great in the early game, but getting them after an item like Boots of Travel is just you basically save up 2.2k gold just for this one big item when you could have had this Null Talisman, which would have helped you do more in lane and be a lot better harassing, regenning mana, and just overall added HP. So bottom lane, we've got Lich and Tide, both with ultimate up, so I think J4T are going to be looking to push down even more towers using the Lich and the Tide backup. So the Priestess of the Moon, the Queen of Pain can play very aggressive when they've got a Tide Ravage, a Lich Chain Frost to back them up, which we will be seeing in these next few fights, I imagine here, guys. So meanwhile, mid lane, MUFC are grouped up. They've got 4. They've also got... Have they got Smoke? Enchantress? No, that's not Smoke. They've got Dust on the Ancient Apparition. I imagine just for that Priestess of the Moon ultimate, so not going to let that Priestess of the Moon set up any fights with that. As well as for the Weaver, but Weaver just so hard to kill. Has actually gone for a Vitality booster. That will slow down that Relic and Radiance a lot, but it's going to make him so hard to kill. With a Vitality booster, he's practically unkillable. So, well, at least at this point, unless they do get a very nicely placed AA ultimate and some Lion disables. And that's going to be hard for them to do. And there is the Smoke. They bring it out on the Courier. Where are they going to go? Are they going to look for this Weaver kill? It looks like they actually might. So, Lion's going to have to lead the way. Going to try to get a Hex off immediately before the Weaver can Shikuchi out. They've got the Dust as well. At least last time I looked they did, and here we're going to see, is there going to be Hex in time? The Hex, the Shackle, it hits. He's being dusted, got the Impale. This is going to be it. I was just talking about how hard he is to kill, but MUFC say, how hard? Not hard enough. They get the kill. 4 heroes committing to it, but definitely worth the smoke gank there. And if that gank had failed, it would have been very, very ugly for MUFC. They would have fallen behind a lot, wasted a lot of time, but the fact that gank actually was converted is going to be absolutely huge for them going into the mid to late game. And Void at bottom, avoiding this arrow, needs to be careful. There's 3 heroes ganking him this time, needs to time walk out as fast as possible. In a lot of trouble. Tide they could try fight this. They've got both the Tide and the Lich ultimate. Are they going to go for it? Tide with a Blink Dagger. Where did that Blink Dagger come from? But the Lich ultimate comes a bit too late. It's bouncing around. There's the Queen of Pain from behind with a couple nukes. Takes out one. The Enchantress is going to be the next one they try focus, but they've already lost the Tide Hunter because of the... Oh, Enchantress, a couple more hits, going to take him out. Meanwhile, Void, red HP, time walks out just in time. Priest of the Moon goes down. Can the Queen of Pain finish off the Void? He backtracks the Scream of Pain. I thought he was dead, but he backtracks, saving the Void. Sharky is one lucky motherfucker, and holy cow, that was a crazy, crazy fight. I think J4T couldn't quite commit. They didn't know whether they wanted to fight or not. As soon as the TP started coming in, they backed off. When they could have just immediately fought, there was only 2 MUFC heroes there initially, but they backed off. Then Tide blinked in, but the Lich ultimate came too late. He needed the Lich ultimate to be there sooner, as well as the Priestess of the Moon didn't quite commit right away. Tide went in pretty much alone, and AA at mid in trouble here. He's going to get taken out, and little did this AA know that the Queen of Pain was still alive, had a haste rune, had plenty of mana to get that kill, and a bit of a mistake there coming out of net. The support player from MUFC as Kev picks up another kill, his 8th kill of the game, so we've got 8 kills on him, 1 kill on the rest of the German side. And looking at the Radiant team, we've got fairly even kill spread, but a lot of deaths as well, as they are behind by 4 kills. We've got 70 creeps on both Windrunner and Enchantress, 67 on Void, and 59 on Lion. So 4 heroes with a fair bit of farm. On the Dire team, we've got 113 creeps on the Weaver, so a lot of farm to his name, and he's going to be the hero that the Germans look to carry them in that late game, as he is now at 1600 gold, going to be looking to pick up that relic as fast as possible. Bottom lane, we do see Windrunner get picked off. Enchantress trying to take out this Lich, but Enchantress committing so much to this. The AA ultimate's going to hit the Lich. Lich goes down, but Enchantress just saying, I don't care, I'm dead regardless, I'm just going to go all in for this kill, and he got that with the AA ultimate, so paying off there. And we do see a smoke seed on Lion, so Lion going to be looking for another gank, maybe on this Weaver at top lane again, as Void does have the Chronosphere back up, so they can use that to try and pick up those kills as well. Bottom lane, Queen of Pain, 2.7k gold. Probably going to be going for a Sheepstick or possibly something like a Lincoln's, even a BKB. But I imagine Sheepstick is going to be the item he goes for, unless he wants to go for something like an Ag Scepter. But the fact he hasn't bought anything yet, we may even see straight into a Mystic Staff build here by the Queen of Pain. But saving up all this gold is not all that effective. I mean, as I mentioned, saving up 2.2k gold for those Boots of Travel, it's a lot of gold to save up when you can be getting smaller effective items. I mean, he's got 3k gold now. You may as well buy that ultimate orb, buy that Mystic Staff, so you can actually use it in the fights, use it in the pushes. use it for the mana regen. Having gold sitting there is not being very cost effective or efficient with your farming, with your teamfight involvement. So definitely going to see him hopefully pick up an item soon as he is heading towards that secret shop, presumably to pick up a Mystic Staff. He's asking for a pause though, so something is up, guys. So while we are paused, we can look at the farm. We've got Sharky at this top lane. As he's got a broadsword, so he's going to have a Battle Fury in just 400 gold. That's going to be huge. Allow him to get a lot of farm coming his way. Looking at the gold difference now, it's now gone up to around 8,000 gold difference, but that's because of all these towers going in the Germans' favor. MUFC yet to take a tower, so the thing, I mean, it looks like a convincing lead for the German side, J4T, but it's something that can turn very, very quickly. All this is going to take is one good fight by MUFC. If MUFC get a good Void ultimate, a good AA ultimate, which with the Chronosphere and it's pretty easy to place those AA ultimates, as well as that Shackle Shot, so we could be seeing this game turn around very quickly with one good fight going in MUFC's favor. If they get that good fight, suddenly you see them pushing a couple towers, getting maybe 2 towers at middle lane, a tower at bottom, and suddenly they are back in this game. The gold difference gets cut in half, and it is going to be anyone's game, or it's anyone's game already, but I just think this gold difference is going to be a bit deceiving as to the actual state of this game. MUFC are going to be relying on that Void to carry them in the late game, and J4T are going to have to really make sure they don't have any sloppy fights. One sloppy fight, and their whole lead is gone. So if they keep playing sharp, keep using that Tide and Lich ultimate effectively to back up the Queen of Pain, back up the Priestess of the Moon and the Weaver, then they will be looking good here. As we do see, this Skeleton Warrior tried to deny that DD rune, but Mirana was just too quick, picking it up in the bottle. Mirana with a Yasha, 2k gold. We're going to see an ultimate orb up soon, I imagine, unless he's going for a Sergeant Yasha, but more often than not, it will be that Manta Star we do see coming into play on the Queen, sorry, not on the Queen of Pain, on the Mirana. Queen of Pain, meanwhile, has picked up a Void Stone, has 2.8k gold, so we will see a Mystic Staff now, hopefully. I'm going to sell that Ironwood Branch, or pick up even the Ultimate Orb. So it's going to be an Ultimate Orb. I do like the fact he's bought that, but the fact is he could have bought it 3 or 4 minutes ago and used that plus 10 to all stats in his advantage. But each to his own, and we do see Weaver farming at this top lane only 1800 gold, so has slowed down his farm a bit. His gold per minute, I believe, probably has dropped a bit recently. I mean, he had 1600 gold just 3 or 4 minutes ago, and it looks like they will go for a Genki. They've smoked the Lion, the AA. They're going to be looking for a straight up Hex, and Lion coming around from the side should be able to get this Hex from Fog, and this Lion going to be in a lot. Sorry, this Weaver going to be in a lot of trouble. The AA ultimate should hit. Thinker, is there a Chronosphere? It's going to be used, and there we do see the Weaver getting taken out, not taking any chances, any risk there. The Tide, unable to, maybe if Tide had blinked past the Chronosphere and Ravage could have saved him, but that would have been a bit tricky, and now we've got 5 MUFC heroes here, and if they win this fight here, this is going to be huge for them. The Shackle Shot not converting, but Tidehunter going to pop the ultimate. He's already red HP though. The Priest of the Moon ultimate goes the Lich. Chain Frost takes out 2 immediately. Lion Enchantress are down. AA Void in a lot of trouble. So's the Windrunner. Windrunner does pick up the Tide kill. Void leaping in, time walking in, and here comes the arrow, hits the Void, Starfall as well. AA in a lot of trouble, is getting down to red HP. Shackle Shot keeps the Void alive, and once again Void backtracking another screen, but does get taken out, and Windrunner gets TPs out before he goes down, avoiding the genocide as the only living hero in that team fight. The rest of the MUFC team got taken out in that fight, and we did see, I believe, 2 losses on the German side, losing both the Tidehunter and the Weaver. Weaver at the start of the fight, so J4T were essentially 4v5 that entire fight. They didn't have the Weaver. He got picked off at the start, but what it did mean is that both, well, the Void ultimate, the AA ultimate, and the Lion ultimate weren't actually there for that fight. So MUFC taking a 5v4 fight when they didn't have their ultimates, not a good decision. They need to make sure they have those ultimates. Even though it's 5v4, they're up against a Tide Lich ultimate. Queen of Pain and Priest of the Moon do huge burst damage, and it was not a fight that was going to go their favor. So a bit of a mistake there. We do see the mech up on the Windrunner of KYXY, so that's going to come into play now. Ancient Apparition just has a bracer up, going to be getting some wards as well. I'm going to be slowly heading towards those Drums of Endurance, which do give some nice little auras. We see Staff of Wizardry on Lion, so not able to pick up a Blink Dagger at any kind of quick farm. So what is actually happening here, we're going to see a Force Staff up on this Lion. And that's going to be basically the poor man's Blink. Sure, it costs the same amount of gold as a Blink, but you can get it in little pieces. So basically, you can buy the Staff of Wizardry as soon as you get 1k gold, and you don't have to risk losing gold when you do die. Not to mention the fact that there are it's a poor man's blink in the sense that you can use it when you can't use blink, because if you are playing defensively, 4 stuff can be more useful. Mid lane we do see Priest of the Moon gets taken out, Lich as well, double kill for the Enchantress, and that is not a fight that J4T would like to see. And we are going to see Queen of Pain pick off one with the Tidehunter. They take out the AA. Queen of Pain now has the ultimate up, so may see them looking to defend this mid lane as Sharky with a Battle Fury, 1300 gold. This mid tier 1 tower going to be under a bit of pressure here, but Queen of Pain is coming in. There's no Chronosphere. The Chronosphere is being used, and Sharky is actually going to go for this kill. Sharky's not going to go for the kill. Kev is going to go for the kill on Sharky, and Sharky goes down to a solo Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain with the level 3 ultimate doing so much damage, as well as the max Shadow Strike and Scream. This time, Void had no luck with that backtrack. It's kept him alive once or twice already, but not this time. Void gets taken out, and what has Kev got? He's bought something. He's bought boots. He's bought boots. Sorry, boots of travel? I'm not exactly sure what he just did. We are going to see Priest of the Moon with a Mantisyle up. Tidehunter with Blink. Arcane Boots has 1k gold, has some obstacles on him as well. Lich going for that mech. We will see mech up in about 700 gold. As soon as J4T have that mech up, they're going to become that much harder to kill. Tidehunter maybe going to go for something like a pipe as well. That could do basically negate some of that big magic damage coming out of both the Lion and the Ancient Apparition ultimate, as well as those Windrunner power shots. So really, MUFC in a lot of trouble here. They're going to have to get this Void nice and farmed very quickly. We do have an Ag Scepter. Actually, Enchantress getting very close to that Ag Scepter, only 1k gold away from it. Ancient Apparition at bottom getting caught out by this Tidehunter. Needs to be careful. Tidehunter with the max Anchor Smash as well as the Gush doing a lot of damage there, getting Ancient Apparition down to half HP despite his 900 HP pull. And Weaver at top has 2.7k gold. That Relic is coming very, very slowly but steadily. He has been ganked a couple times by that Lion Void Chronosphere plus Finger plus Ancient Apparition ulti combo, and that has slowed down his farm. Otherwise, we may see a Relic up. But what really is happening here is Kev, the Queen of Pain, he is the one carrying at the moment, doing so much damage, getting so many kills. He has 11 kills, 8 assists, and just the 1 death. Top lane, Windrunner in so much trouble here. The Sheep Stick is there, and we will see it being used, although they don't actually really need it, so it probably won't be used at all here. We're just going to see, there we go, the Sheep Stick comes out, there's the Scream. Lion forcing in, he's going to keep this Windrunner alive. Windrunner with the mech. Queen of Pain in trouble if there's a Chronosphere needed. No, there's not. Enchantress gets the kill. A huge mistake from Kev. He wanted to use that Sheep Stick right away and just get the kill quickly. Probably should have even used the ultimate for that kill, as he couldn't get the kill fast enough, and in the end he chased for it, got disabled. The small consolation is going to be this middle tier 2 tower. So tier 2 tower, but Queen of Pain going down is a big important kill for the MUFC team, as they do look to take this tier 2 tower. And without the Queen of Pain, this is a fight that MUFC can take. The Tidehunter goes down before he can pop the ultimate. The ultimate was actually there, but as soon as the Hex wore off, he got fingered, got taken out, and this is not looking good for J4T. Well, when I say it's not looking good, I mean they still have an advantage, but they've just thrown away a big part of their advantage by Queen of Pain getting picked off. This tier 1 tower at top going to give MUFC some nice gold, and MUFC getting farm on the Windrunner at bottom, farm on the AA at mid, farm on the Void at top, as well as the Enchantress. Enchantress now has an Ag Scepter, I believe. Yes, we do see an Ag Scepter on this Enchantress. Enchantress is going to be doing a lot of damage now, and that is going to be some serious damage output coming from Enchantress compared to someone like Weaver. Weaver doesn't even have his Relic yet. I mean, can Weaver even outcarry this Enchantress right now? I mean, it's just got to be a bit of a worry for the German side. They've got this Queen of Pain, but Queen of Pain needs to play a bit more conservatively, play as a team player, not as a solo pub superstar. I say that in the nicest way possible, but it is that kind of style of play where you go around looking for kills by yourself, trying to go godlike, not actually worrying about the rest of your team. But if they play together as a team, the Germans definitely with the advantage here, and I do think they are still in a great position to take this game, but they just need to work together, use those Tide Lich ultimates. Someone's asking ping. Use those Tide Lich ultimates well. Use the Queen of Pain as a backup. Someone's asking for the pings. It is 300 all over. So for those of you who said was wondering about how lag would come into play, basically all the players have fairly even pings here. The console, which is this little thing here which says the ping, this is actually exaggerating their pings a bit. It's actually about 50 to 60 less than that, so it's probably about 150 ms for some of these players and 200 for some of the ones at worst. I did see one of the MUFC players actually had around 600 ping. I don't know if that was a spike. And Priestess of the Moon Ultimate, this Enchantress in so much trouble, gets Hex, gets taken out before he can cast a spell. And there you see Enchantress saying, "It's just not fair, why me?" And that's going to be a relic. Yes, relic up on Weaver. Going to sell that Bassi ring, pick up the relic, and going to be about 1k gold away from that Radiance, which we will see coming into play soon. But right now, the Germans only up by 5 kills. They are up by a lot of towers. They've taken down 5 towers, 2 tier 2 towers, only 1 tier 2 at top remaining at 250 HP. Windrunner needs to be careful. There's heroes coming from behind. There's the Queen of Pain, Shadow Strike, Gush, Arrow not going to hit. There will be a Lich Nova, and this is going to be more than enough to kill this Windrunner, I imagine. Or is it? They're not going to get it. The Void is there to back him up. The mech is going to be popped, and Void trying to go on this Priest of the Moon. Priest of the Moon doesn't have ultimate, does have the Manta Style though, and Priest of the Moon with 2.8k gold is actually getting very, very farmed. So between the Queen of Pain, the Priest of the Moon, and the Weaver, there's just too much farm on the J4T heroes for MUFC to deal with, I feel. You see that Enchantress getting instantly KO'd that last fight. Windrunner going to still be about 1.5k off that Sheepstick. Lion only with 4 staff, and Void, where is he? What has he got? With an Ogre Axe, looking to make a Black King Bar. Has he got any other parts? He's got the recipe. He just needs that Mithril Hammer, but he doesn't quite have it yet. So he is going to be about 1200 gold off that Mithril Hammer before he gets that BKB. But it's going to be so hard for them to fight without that. And we will see this top tier 2 tower getting taken out. Enchantress getting arrowed. Tidehunter goes in with a huge Ravage. There's the AA ultimate. Gonna find one. Lion gets taken out though. Void Chrono, but he's been hexed. He can't do any damage. Tide is just flying mid-air, caught in the Chronosphere, caught in an Impale, and Void taking so much damage from Priest of the Moon, and Lich gets taken out. Doesn't have buyback gold, and Queen of Pain trying to catch out this Windrunner. Windrunner is just so tanky with 1800 HP. Those strength treads and mech and ultimate all makes him so hard to kill. Enchantress doing not enough damage to pick up any kills there, and the entire German team still alive. The Lion, the Void are dead, and they want to push on in, take this tier 3 tower at top. Can they do it? I think they can. There's still 30 seconds for Lion's back, and the 3 alive heroes, there's not a whole lot they can do. The AA ultimate's on cooldown for another 5 seconds. Power shots will come out, but that is about all they can do. Priest of the Moon, the Manta Style not up. He doesn't have mana either. Needs an Arcane Boot. AA ultimate will find Queen of Pain. A couple Impetuses could see this Queen of Pain in a bit of trouble, and they actually may back off here. If the MUFC can keep this Rax alive, they still have a bit of hope. Weaver's going to come back in, maybe. Is he going to look for this Rax? He's going to try hit it a few times. He needs to be careful, needs to backtrack soon. The Shackle Shot hits! A huge Shackle Shot. They need to take out this Siege Wagon. This Siege Wagon, one more hit is going to take out this top Rax, and the Priest of the Moon illusions actually do the job. The top melee barracks goes down at the cost of Weaver's life. He does have that Radiance gold though, so we will see the Radiance being bought as soon as he respawns. But a huge clash there coming out of the Germans. They picked off 2 in that big team fight with that Tidehunter and Lich ultimate combo with the Queen of Pain. Huge amount of burst damage. Weaver just not really having a big impact on these fights, but it doesn't matter because there's so much farm on both Queen of Pain and Priestess that Weaver's impact is not really needed here. And come late game, he will have that Radiance. He'll slowly make that heart, and he'll get fairly hard to kill here. And I just worry if this Void gets too farmed, this Weaver will not be able to outcarry the Void. But the fact is, right now, Void is just going down so fast to the range DPS of the Lich, the Priestess, the Queen of Pain, even the Weaver, all range DPS. You saw in that last fight, Void actually got sheeped in the Chronosphere, so he couldn't do any damage in Chronosphere, and as a result, the Void just unable to do a whole lot in that last fight, and MUFC just not having the heroes or the farm needed to actually take any sort of team fight outside of their base. They just need to sit back and try it turtle just a little bit longer. And finally, we will see the German side using that dire side advantage to try and take Roshan. Not just the fact they're on dire now, but the fact that they've taken Iraq's in a clear lead, have that push advantage. We will see A ultimate actually falls a bit short of Roshan, but we will see what looks to be a Roshan attempt here. There's just nothing that the MUFC team can do. Windrunner is all the way at top. There's no towers to TP to near Roshan. That's the big thing. Where do you TP if you want to TP to stop them roshing? All they can do is TP to this tier 3 tower, where if you look at the Dire team, they can TP to this tier 2 tower here, this tier 1 tower. They've got 4 towers nearby Roshan. The 2 towers in the middle, the 2 towers at the bottom, all near Roshan. There's no towers on the central team near Roshan except this middle tier 1 tower. After that, the closest tower is maybe one of these bottom towers, but nothing at all near Roshan. They can get it uncontested there. We will see it picked up on the Weaver. and we will see J4T, just for the tournament, the German side, looking to push down that middle lane with that Aegis. And Queen of Pain, blinking all the way in, finds Net, the Ancient Apparition. He gets sheeped. He will go down here. He's going to see Queen of Pain ultimate actually being used there. Queen of Pain learning from his mistake last time at top lane when he blinked afterwards after the Windrunner and got KO'd by the Lion Disables, learning his lesson, saying, I'll use my ultimate even if it's just for one kill. If we're pushing and there's no Ancient Apparition ultimate, sure it's on cooldown, but it's got a very short cooldown. It's up in 15 seconds. Now the AA is dead for 25 seconds. So basically, using that ultimate even just for one kill can be worth it. And we will see an arrow find the Windrunner. That's going to be a bit of damage going on the Windrunner, but more importantly, J4T, the Germans, will just focus down this tower using this Tide ultimate Blink Ravage combo just to back up some heroes there. We do see Queen of Pain actually getting shackled. But Priest of the Moon just going to be going in, right-clicking the tower with some illusions. Lion on the edge here, needs to be careful, forces himself back into his base. Some sneaky play there by him, but it's not going to be enough to defend this base. AA is back alive, does have the ultimate now, so MUFC has bought enough time. A big shackle shot on this Weaver. Sentry Ward gets placed, they're trying to take him out. Time lapse, and the Priestess of the Moon ultimate, but little do they know there's a Sentry Ward right there. Tide will blink, ulti hits 4, just on the edge, the Void gets caught. There's the Lich ultimate, they take out the Enchantress, Void ultimate, converts, finds 2 heroes. This Tide Hunter is going to be the one getting focused, but this Sheepstick on the Void, going to do a bit of damage there. Kev, the Queen of Pain, gets taken out by the Lion. Lion Finger finishing off the job, and BKB on Void going to give him a lot more killing power because of the fact he can't be disabled. And 3 kills going in MUFC's favor there, as we did see, I believe it was the Priest, someone bought back, I want to say. Maybe it was an MUFC here, but we do see Priest of the Moon gets taken out by the Faceless Void, and MUFC staying alive here, as we do see Lion trying to keep this bug off him. He's very low. AA does go down to the Weaver, and it is Lich who will suffer here, getting so low here, and Void is going to be able to finish this off. A couple bashes, the power shot comes a second later, and Weaver, without the Aegis of the Immortal, needs to be careful, just needs to get the hell out of there, as MUFC with a huge fight, they take out 4 heroes, they take out the Aegis on that Weaver, and all they lost was maybe about half the HP of this tower. A great fight going in their favor, and they are still in this game. We're going to see a Sheepstick up, a Scythe of Life on this Windrunner. Lion with 1400 gold and a point booster to help him tank up a little bit more. Maybe going to go for a Blink Dagger, but maybe just going to go for that Ag Scepter for the added HP and intel. Void, meanwhile, with 1200 gold, going to be going for maybe a Manta style, possibly just something like a Butterfly, some kind of damage damage and attack speed, so we can get more bashes, do more damage. It's going to be interesting to see what he does in fact go for. Meanwhile, Enchantress picking up a cloak. This is what MUFC have been missing. They need a pipe. Up against a Queen of Pain AoE, the Tide Ravage, the Lich ultimate, a pipe would just be so useful, and I'm hoping this Enchantress does in fact go for that pipe here. Bottom lane, Tide with an Invis rune. Windrunner needs to be careful. Queen of Pain gonna go on this Windrunner. Queen of Pain with the ultimate. Tide gonna come in with that Gush in just a second there. There's the Blink, Gush, Anchor Smash. Queen of Pain maybe gonna use the ultimate. A huge shackle shot there. KYXY has done it. Saved himself there. If that shackle hadn't hit, I think he would have in fact actually gone down there, because the Queen of Pain could have used the ultimate for that kill, but the shackle shot did keep him alive there. Meanwhile, top lane, Void still farming away. Weaver with 1700 gold, Vitality Booster, Hood and Radiance. Void, meanwhile, BKB, B-Fury, Treads, and 2k gold. So let's have a look at the gold difference. It's gone up a long way, gone up to as high as 1400 gold for J4T. With all those towers, they pushed down 7 towers. I mean, when it's 7 towers to 1, you have to look at that as a huge amount of gold going into the Germans' pockets. I mean, that's just, if you're getting about 200 to 250 gold per tower per hero, I mean, that's about 1.2k gold per tower kill. And when you're 6 towers in the lead, that's about 7 to 8k gold on towers alone. And we do see overall about 12k gold difference. And J4T in a very convincing lead here. But if a few more bad pushes like that, where they lose their entire team, and we're going to see MUFC pushing down these mid tower. Look at how low that is. Bottom tower is so low as well. And then if at this point in the game, heroes that are level 18, level 20 Queen of Pain, level 18 Priestess, level 18 Weaver, these heroes take a long time to respawn. While they are dead, these tier 1 towers will go down, the tier 2 towers will go down as well, and suddenly MUFC will be right back in this game. We'll see this Void getting up his next big item very, very quickly. He has actually gone for a Mask of Madness. I like this decision. They need some burst damage, some damage output now, and Mask of Madness will give him that. And not to mention the fact he has a BKB as well is going to give him that survivability he needs. So we can combine the survivability of BKB with the attack speed and sort of squishiness that you get from Mask of Madness, as you do take bonus damage whenever you cast it. But if you're BKB'd, it means you can't be sheep, you can't be nuked down, and most of the Dire team's damage is from that burst damage from the Queen of Pain, the Priestess, the sort of like the Gush, the Arrow, the Starfall, the Queen of Pain nukes. There's not much right-click damage coming yet. Obviously the Weaver and Priestess will get to that point where they do a bit of right-click damage. I mean, we see Priest of the Moon actually finishing a Butterfly. And this is the worry for MUFC. They're not up against just a Farm Weaver, they're up against a Farm Priestess, a Farm Weaver, and a Farm Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain going for a BKB, has enough gold for that, and will probably pick that up fairly soon. But BKB not going to help a whole lot against a Chronosphere coming out from the Void, but it will mean that the Lion disables and the Shackle Shot may not be able to combo as well as they'd like, even with that Chronosphere there to maybe set them up. Lion, meanwhile, going bottom, has bought a Blink Dagger, so not finishing off that Ag Scepter, just going to go for that Blink Dagger. Definitely a good choice there. He can blink in, use the Force Tap to escape if he needs, just gives him so much mobility, so much versatility in these fights here. And definitely worth getting that Blink Dagger even after buying it, even this late into the game. So we will see. Ooh, it looks like J4T just looking to play safe, get some farm up, finish a pipe on the Titan. He's only 700 gold off the pipe. Lich meanwhile has a mech and Ghost Scepter, so Ghost Scepter to stop the Void from just insta-killing him whenever he wants. And maybe J4T are actually just going to wait for this Roshan to come back into play. There is an option for them. They can just farm up, get Weaver his next item, possibly going to see a heart on this Weaver, which will just make him so much harder to kill if he does go for that heart. He's already got the Vitality booster from earlier, so it could be a heart on him. We've got BKB finished on Queen of Pain, so quite likely J4T saying, hey, our last push failed, we don't want to rush into this, we have the advantage. I mean, as said, they are up by 12k gold, so they know this. They know they have a huge gold advantage, a big level lead. Look at their heroes: 21, 19, 15, 19. Against heroes that are 13, 15, 17. Void and Windrunner are doing okay, but the German heroes are higher level, have heaps more gold, and they know this. They don't want to throw away this lead by pushing and having a bad team fight, and then seeing MUFC pick up a couple kills. More than a couple kills, maybe a team wipe, a few tower kills, and then Roshan themselves, and then suddenly the game is no longer in their control. So they're going to be playing this safe, keeping these lanes pushed out. As soon as Roshan is up, they will go for that Roshan in the safest way possible, which basically means get these lanes pushed out, know where heroes are on the map, get complete map control, and use that to their advantage. But right now they are in fact middle. The Tide, the Lich, the ultimates are all up. They've got that Priest of the Moon ultimate up. We do see a Centaur just putting place splat right down in the middle of the lane. Going to be using that to make sure that J4T don't try anything too sneaky coming into the enemy base, using that Priest of the Moon ultimate. And maybe J4T will try and go for this tier 3 tower at mid. It is getting very low. They could just chip away at it with the Priest of the Moon illusions, but they do seem somewhat reluctant to push. They do have a Reaver up on the Weaver. Reaver on Weaver, it rhymes. And they do see an Obs Ward for both teams on this hill. So both teams having complete vision here. More important for MUFC, who would have spotted the entire J4T team there just camping around. And as a result, MUFC knows that it's not the safest place to go. And here we see MUFC taking action into their own hands. They're smoked. They know Roshan's coming up soon. They don't know. Well, I mean, if they wrote down the time or remember the time it was taking the first time, they know roughly when it's coming up, and they will get RMN. The Mirana. Is there going to be a Chronosphere? Yes, there is. The Weaver gets caught in it as well. Buyback immediately from the Mirana. Weaver in trouble. Is there a shackle? No, there's not. There's nothing. But there's a couple bashes. Weaver going to get out. There's the sheep stick being used on the Void. Arrow goes flying in. It's not going to go far enough, and the entire MUFC team needs to back off. There's the Priest of the Moon ultimate. They've got the Sentry down. Queen of Pain with a BKB. Tide ultimate hits 2. Enchantress. Windrunner hits 3. Hits the line as well. Shackle Shot converts, but 2 MUFC heroes are down, and there's not going to be a whole lot they can do to defend this incoming push. Look at all these illusions. Priest of the Moon with an illusion rune and Manta Style. This tower, this Rax is going to go down so quickly. Tier 3 tower at mid goes down. The cliff has been popped, but this Rax is going to be in so much trouble. AA ultimate on cooldown for another couple seconds. Void with no ultimate for 57 seconds, and the Enchantress, the Lion, dead for 40 seconds. So this mid Rex is going to go down. They could finish off the top range Rex if they so choose, or just go for this bottom Rex. I think they're going to go bottom here. Queen of Pain blinking in, and they're just going to burst this down. They've got all these illusions from Priestess just doing damage, helping tank, and Tidehunter as well, just so tanky. Shackle Shot not going to convert. Weaver just tanky as hell with this Reaver Vitality Booster, Hood of Defiance, and it looks like J4T, the German team, have broken the MUFC curse. They're going to take down the bottom melee rack. The range rack is going to follow shortly. Void, BK being in, trying to take out the Lich. There's the Ghost Scepter from Lich. Void, all they can do is kill some Mirana illusions, but Mirana has even more illusions, as they are going to finish off this bottom racks. The only remaining racks is this top range racks. The Void gets taken out. The top racks is going to go down to Creeps, and that's Mega Creeps. It's going to be surely GG. Void buying back, has the Chronosphere, but this is game over. Whatever MUFC do now is just going to be for pride, for ego, for their kill-death ratio, because they are not winning this game anymore, and we will see Void pop that ultimate now, but it's not going to do a whole lot, as it does look like this is in fact GG for the Malaysian boys. They just cannot win the game when they've got this. They're so underfarmed, and they are now up against Mega Creeps. This game is now over. Sharky goes down for a second time. He's got no buyback, and we're going to see GG being called very shortly. There we see Sharky calling GG, and MUFC have been defeated by J4T, the German team, just for the tournament.